Hello art lovers, and welcome back to my studio. So for this piece I actually started a little bit later than I would have liked. I was actually spending a lot of time trying to think of a really great mermaid piece because it's May and everyone's doing mermaid painting, and I was just seeing all the beautiful things that everyone was putting out. So I was racking my brain and trying to come up with sea creatures, and I was stumped. I couldn't think of anything that hadn't already been done. So I was talking to Vince, my husband, about it, and he was just like, well, do you have to do a mermaid? And it's funny because the thought didn't even cross my mind to not do a mermaid piece. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll save mermaids for another time. What else can I do? And I was thinking of Zodiacs. So I was just kind of going through the processes and looking at Pinterest and looking through different things. That day that I was brainstorming actually happened to be the birthday of a very good friend of mine. I decided to stop thinking about painting and sketching, and I started thinking about what I wanted to get her for her birthday. So I decided to go with something that I knew would remind her of our friendship and what it means to me. So that's kind of how this piece was born. It's a friendship zodiac, Amity zodiac for Taurus and Aries. Our birthdays are exactly 1 month apart, so I just thought it was fitting. And it had me thinking about friendship and why I value her so much as a friend. And a lot of the reason is we're actually, for all the things that we have in common, we are actually pretty different. We come from different backgrounds, we grew up in different kinds of families, we're different ethnicities, we have vastly different personalities, and I think the fact that we are so different makes it really awesome for both of us when we find things that we have in common. And I think it's just great that two people that really kind of come from totally opposite sides can be such great friends. So neither of us really believe super strongly in kind of astrological mythologies, but after doing some research, I just thought it was kind of interesting that certain things do correlate. So this is what I found for the friendship compatibility for Taurus and Aries. A friendship between an Aries and a Taurus is that of two people of widely different personalities. Taurus by nature are calm and patient. It is these traits that are so different from their own that attracts Aries to Taurus. In addition, Aries also receives stability and loyalty in friendship from Taurus. Aries are pleasantly intrigued by Taurus's practical and reserved mind, while Taurus are fascinated by Aries' wild and impulsive nature. They balance each other beautifully, and either one could teach the other how to get the most out of life. Now, for me, this is kind of hitting the nail on the head. I am a dreamer who tends to run headfirst into my dreams and chasing them down with very little regard for my own personal well-being. And my Taurus friend is probably one of the most level-headed and loyal, conscientious people that I have ever met. What this teaches me is that it's so important to have friends and people in your life that are different from you, so that way you can have balance in your life. If I only had friends who were from the same city as me and had the same interests as me, I would be missing out on so much. But I personally try to keep a large variety of different kinds of people with different kinds of interests in my circle. It helps me to grow and become a better more open-minded version of myself. Okay, so now that I've gone on and on about the awesomeness of friendship, but I do want to kind of talk about the process of this piece a bit. So the reason for the colors that I chose, I wanted to go with complementary colors for hopefully obvious reasons. Red and green are on completely opposite sides of the color spectrum, so it's kind of reminiscent of that friendship between two people that are very different, and how when they're brought together, the two colors are able to achieve good balance and symmetry. I tried to be very mindful of the values for this piece, keeping the background relatively muted. I didn't want too much busyness going on. I also decided to go with kind of the galaxy pattern in the dress and the blouse, just because it is astrological signs and I wanted to bring in kind of the stars and the dreaminess of it. I also went in with the white highlights around the characters themselves, and I kind of interspersed them in there to show light bouncing off the amulets with the star signs on them. This is the end result. And as always, I hope you all enjoyed the process of this piece. If you have any questions or if you want to see more pieces like this, just leave your comments below. Next up for this month, I'll be working on my Aphrodite deck, so I'm super excited to get started on that. I gotta say another big happy birthday to my Taurus friend Molly. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.